thank you for joining Carrie Rios and myself, Amber Tripp, on our very first podcast series for Clark College Community and Continuing Education. I've said that so many times and it just gets tongue-tied more and more. So I'm glad I got it out right. We wanted to celebrate our instructors at CCE side of the house of Clark College and really just get their feel for who they are and what their classes are about, and just ride on the excitement and the passion that they have for teaching, so we can let the community know, hey, this is out there. I don't know why you're not clicking enroll. So without further ado, I'm going to have you introduce yourself, Adriana, and with your name, and then the two classes that you teach here at Clark College CCE.
Well, I'm Adriana Thomas, and I currently teach essential oils and also introduction to crystals.
Awesome. So these are interesting topics and classes to teach. So I really would like to know what inspired you to teach these classes.
So these are both kind of based on kind of personal interest and interest that I was noticing in other friends and people in the community kind of being interested in. So with essential oils, I started getting into that, and then realizing that if I went to a workshop or something, it was often about a specific oil. So it would be about a big company and that oil and trying to sell it to you, and all about buying their specific products. And I wasn't really finding anything just generally about, how can the oils benefit you and what are their properties, and how can you use them and things like this. So I thought I would develop more of a general kind of a class to cover the basics, to kind of get people started with the oils in that way.
Perfect. And then tell me about that crystal deal, because crystals, I mean, I know a little bit about essential oils because, my mom taught me lavender, just stick it on your heels or something, I know a tiny bit about that, but crystals, whoo.
Yeah, so there's a ton to know about crystals. So I was kind of interested in them, and then I started reading and researching more, and then realizing people in the community are going to the local crystal shops, and every time I go, the parking lot is full. So people are interested, in learning more. People are either interested in the geology side, how it grows, where it grows, those types of things. You can get this crystal in Brazil, whatever it is. And then the other half of people are kind of interested in the properties of, like, amethyst is very anxiety reducing. And so kind of, the class that I teach kind of covers a little bit of both of those things and incorporates that information.
So that's good to know. And it's interesting to me that lavender, which is also like a calming oil, right? And amethyst are both purple. So maybe there's something to be said about purple.
Yeah, so maybe
Purple's
there's
also
some pairing there with the oils and the crystals. Yes, some collaboration. Yes.
Just to bring that up, also my daughter, I was talking to her yesterday because I, do that. I talk to my 6-year-old daughter every so often. They were talking about caves, particularly stalactites and stalagmites, and how, stalactites hold tight to the ceiling so they don't fall down. Stalagmites might grow up, so she can differentiate them. And she goes, well, what about crystals? Do they grow in caves? And which caves do the crystals grow in? So interesting you bring that up today. I had, where the crystals come from in different places in the world that you can get those from. Also, is there a crystal cave? My daughter would like to know.
Oh, yes, there's definitely places, and there's local places where you can go dig for crystals as well. So there's a place out by Seattle called Hansen Creek where you can actually get quartz crystals, and I brought my daughter there who's also 6, and you can dig and get them. Yes, so.
Okay. I'm totally going to be emailing you about this situation because my daughter picks up rocks like no other. She's always loved rocks, and crystals is the thing right now, so.
Yes, kids are really into it, so it kind of brings a little bit of that magic back. A lot of us when we were kids, we collected rocks and seashells and things like that, and it's like, oh, how can I bring that magic back? There's something to it, Yeah.
So, and there's the healing properties to the crystal side of things too, right? Is that something you have to go over in your class?
Yeah, exactly. So again, like amethyst with anxiety, or there's all kinds of things like, for boosting your immunity, or, ruby for your heart. Those types of things. Just how you're feeling, in different situations. If you want to be confident at work, you want to use citrine and have that at your desk.
Wow.
kind of empower and inspire you. So those type of things. And, ways that you can incorporate the crystals, like as far as wearing jewelry, you can infuse them into water and oils and then make like a bath product. So again, there's another connection with the oils. You could learn with the oils how to make your own, lotion or something like that. And then the crystals, you could make an infused, elixir and then mix them together.
So you can totally go Zelda on this situation. I don't know if you guys know Zelda, but Zelda, you have to create these elixirs. And not only that, but there are this is such a tangent, but I mean, people do play Zelda like I do. I mean, don't judge. But in Zelda, they have like the sapphire circlet for to prevent against, I think, cold, or to give you cooling properties in the hot desert so you stay cool. In any case, there is a lot to learn about crystals apparently that I didn't even know, and apparently Zelda also incorporates some of those. So, fun topic there.
Yes, definitely.
Like we said, we're getting a little punchy over here. So, thanks for bearing with us, Adriana. We appreciate it. Who would this class be designed for? Like, who would be your student that would be, hey, let's get this going?
Both of these classes are kind of for anybody who's just interested in learning more, because they're both introductory classes. So that's great. You can come without knowing anything, or you can come with knowing some knowledge. So I usually ask at the beginning of class, what do you know already, or what would you like to learn? And then we kind of go from there. So it builds kind of a framework for you. So like the essential oils, we talk about all different things, and then I give hints and I say, and if you want to explore this more, you can research this. If you want to look into how oils are produced, with steam distillation, whatever, that's a whole nother topic you can dive into deeper on your own time. This class covers the basics to get you interested and engaged in the topic, but then gives you a lot of ideas about where you could take it or what you can do next too if you want to keep learning. So
awesome, cool. I'm fascinated. I'm fascinated already. So tell me one or two things that people may be considering taking the class, but just they're right on the cusp. What would you tell them to get them to just push that button?
So these classes are fun. So the essential oils, you get to smell a bunch of oils, and you get to make a product. And so a lot of people are like, I'm not sure. Smelling the oils really makes an impact. And they're like, wow, okay, I get it. Or, there's this thing I was thinking about, and now that we're in person and we're working with this, so like a crystal, now that I'm holding a crystal and we're talking about it and we're looking at it, and now I'm getting it, it's more of a kind of a connection for them. So the classes are fun, they're engaging. Where it's a mix of me talking, but then also exploring and, engaging with these mediums as well.
Sure. Okay. Well, so I have a question for you, because I'm a little bit of a skeptic when it comes to kind of these ethereal ideas of crystals do this, blah, blah. I get oils because, if you put it on and it actually smells like something, but crystals don't smell like much. Maybe some dirt, some cave, I don't know. So what would you say to the skeptics like me, and they're like, I'm holding this amethyst and I'm still not feeling anything?
Yeah, so we do one exercise, which is working with a pendulum. Okay. And a pendulum is really using your own intuition to answer a question. So even though it's sort of magic, it's also sort of your own intuition. So I teach everyone how to use a pendulum and ask it yes and no, and I don't know. And then that usually gets people to see oh, wow, there's energy here. So crystals are formed over millions of years, and they're made out of energy, and we're all made out of energy, right? So you're working with a kind of energy in that way.
Good old atom.
Yes, exactly.
That's atom, A-T-O-M, not Adam like Adam and Eve. A-T-O-M.
Yeah, exactly. So it's that's a big one, is kind of working with the pendulum and seeing that part of it, I think. But then too, some people are just interested in the geology part, where there's all these interesting crystals, like there's a phantom crystal and there's a double terminated crystal and what do these do and those types of things. So like unique things out there too.
Did you say the Terminator crystal like Arnold Schwarzenegger? Like there's a crystal for him? No, that's not what you said.
Well, it's called terminated, but it just means like the point on the end or on two ends, how it kind of sends and directs energy in that way. So again, everything's kind of connected to energy. And so I can feel it with certain necklaces that I have, which are Vogel pendants. When you put it on, you can definitely feel the energy. You can see your eyes dilate.
Is that amethyst?
So amethyst, yep.
And what's the other one? I can't tell from
The other one's like a yellow quartz or a golden quartz, yeah.
Okay.
So with these, a lot of people that are a skeptic, once I put it on and I saw in the mirror my eyes dilating and I felt like lighter and I felt different, and then I can feel my anxiety more when I'm not wearing it. So for me, I can definitely feel it, but everyone kind of engages in a different way. But there's
Carrie, I think we need to get ourselves some amethyst jewelry. There's a very vigorous nodding from Carrie. Yeah. Which I now realize when I make references to Carrie on here, like nobody has any idea who Carrie is or looks like or sounds like.
Oh yeah.
It's just you and me, Adriana, and
great.
This mystery Carrie person that we keep alluding to. In any case, it sounds very fascinating, and I feel like I should take Qigong and then some Tai Chi and then possibly some essential oils and some crystals, and then I'm not sure where I take my path next, but I feel like it's all interconnected.
Exactly. It's kind of like exploring these alternate healing modalities. Like I'm really into preventative health. And so not waiting till there's a big issue, but like trying to prevent it or trying to stay healthy. So it's like, what can we do to incorporate those little healthy habits? And sometimes it is just taking a meditative break and holding a crystal for 10 minutes or rubbing an oil on your wrist, or it can be a small thing, but it keeps your mental health or your physical health. It's keeping your health kind of in check in different ways that we don't always think about.
Sure. And then figure out if your DNA is wired a certain way to feel the certain crystals. I mean, it's literally all connected, and I'm going to take every stinking one of these classes at some point, I feel like.
Exactly. So like quartz is programmable, right? Which is why it's in computers and things like that. So you can program it and it can hold information. So there's like something there.
Circle almost here. I know, my mind is blown too. This is awesome. I didn't even know there was so much to know about crystals and essential oils and how the energies are all related. Thank you so much, Adriana. Is there any other little nugget you want to tell people or gift people about you or the classes?
I would just love to see anybody in my class. You'll be really welcomed, and usually it's a wonderful group. Every time I've taught, we've had a wonderful group of people who are really supportive and really happy to be there and encouraging, and so you'll have a good experience.
Very cool. And I hear that for this fall anyway, and maybe it changes for other seasons, but you get to create a do-it-yourself, I'm reading this off of the class course, by the way, a do-it-yourself gingerbread scented room spray. I mean, how could you go wrong with that?
Then it's fun. You get the hands-on experience, and come with a great product. And then, so that's for essential oils. And then the crystal class, you get a chakra stone set as part of the class.
Wow. So you basically have your Christmas stuff already done for you. Like you do it yourself, give everybody some spray and.
Yep.
Awesome. Adriana, well, I really want to thank you for your time and your knowledge and your enthusiasm and your passion. You can sign up for both of these classes, Beginning Essential Oils and Beginning Crystals. Introduction to Crystals and Introduction to Essential Oils. You will find them online at cce.clark.edu, and they are actually located under the Home and Wellness subcategory. So if you're looking online, that's where you find them. Otherwise, you can call in to register at 360-992-2939, and someone will help you get registered for these fantastic classes. They sound amazing. you'll find any updated information like the who, the what, the where, the when, why, the cost, the whatever you want to know online. We'll update it there. So I hope to see you signing up for a class. Adriana would love to see you in her classes. Again, thank you so much for being on today and kind of giving us an idea of what you and your classes are all about.